Efecto Cascada.
Un podcast de Explore.
So, dear Explorers, welcome once again to another episode of Efecto Cascada, a podcast from Exploro where we dive into the forefront of innovation, share insights from entrepreneurs, and uncover Cascade funding opportunities. In each episode, we explore the latest trends in the digital stream, arts, and transformative technologies that are shaping our future. So, broadcasting from Pamplona, Spain, we aim to reach a global audience starting from European Union projects. So I'm Paula Ostiz, Communications Manager from Exploro, and it's a great pleasure to be once again your host for today's episode. And as you may have seen, we're continuing with the remote podcast series and is as well in English. But as always, you can just go to YouTube and activate subtitles if you want to listen to the podcast in a different language. So today, we have the pleasure of welcoming Ioannis, an expert of over 25 years of experience in developing innovative systems and currently a professor and researcher at Sapienza Università di Roma. In today's episode, we'll explore XR2LEARN. So this is a project advancing immersive learning through XR technology. With its second open call, literally just open until December 27 of 2024, XR2LEARN invites projects in the fields of manufacturing, healthcare, and engineering to apply and obtain almost 300K in funding. So stay tuned and learn all the details in this episode. Don't be scared and apply. All right, so without any further ado, let's please welcome Ioannis to the stage. So hello, how are you, Ioannis?
Hi, Paula. Very good. Thank you for having me here. This is a great project that you're doing, and your podcasts are super interesting. I'm
Thank
happy
you.
to be part of your project.
Thank you very much for agreeing and talking with us today. All right, so could you please tell the audience who are you, share maybe a bit about your background, whatever you want.
Yes, as you said, I'm a professor here at Sapienza University in Rome. It's a great city. Before coming here, I was in Patras. I was collaborating with the University of Patras. My
Okay.
research area for the last 15 years at least is on the Internet of Things. So I'm looking into how data can essentially be efficiently collected from the different objects and how to communicate with the objects, and then at the same time, how this data can be used to create interesting experiences, innovative products, develop services that could help, and at the same time create immersive experiences to convey all this information to the end user.
All right. And what exactly made you focus your career somehow in European Union projects? And more importantly, what particularly attracted you on XR?
Okay, so I think that I was doing research projects from the very start. So when I started doing my PhD, the group at the University of Patras was active in European projects. So for me, it was something like given. However, I have to say that European projects are really fun. They're of course difficult to set up, and this is a long process. But when you finally succeed in having a project accepted, then it is extremely challenging. And I really like the fact that there is this strong emphasis on collaboration. So European projects are multicultural. They have people from different backgrounds, different approaches in doing research, in living. So it's really nice to have this exchange and work with people that have different approaches, different angles to solving problems. And of course, this is for me extremely nice. And at the same time, I was lucky to participate in projects where we worked on foundational research level, and we managed to create some very important deep tech solutions. This is not always the case. All projects are super successful, but I was lucky to participate in a couple of them. So that was for me really nice.
Let's talk about XR2LEARN. So could you please tell us a bit what is the main objective, the main goal of this project, and how does it aim to develop XR-based educational applications that impact different industries?
The very top level objective of the project of XR2LEARN is to foster innovation for creating educational environments using XR technologies. So we think that educational training in general, education and training is an important part of today's society. So we have a huge lack of institutes that can train the new people, new students, and also retrain existing the today's workforce, let's say. So we are lacking resources. There is a huge issue of scalability, and we strongly believe that XR technology can help in addressing, at least addressing this problem, if not solving it. So this is the main objective of XR to understand how XR can help reskill, upskill today's worker, train young engineers that they are not lucky to have access to a university in their town, or it's difficult for them to do it even if they relocate or they do it online. There is a continuous discussion going on. So there are people with whom you are working and you are exchanging ideas. You meet them regularly, either in scientific events or in technological exhibitions. So in these discussions, it became evident that there is a common point where we can work together. So from one hand side, I am working in a university. There are also colleagues of mine that are working in distance learning education. So they are more dealing with higher age students. And at the same time, we are collaborating with institutes outside Europe. So there are also universities from Asia, universities from other countries like Africa, for example. And it is evident there that it's really interesting. They have completely different approach, but still it is evident that even in Europe or outside Europe, we are all under extreme pressure to expand and to become, let's say, more efficient, train more people, and to do that, existing approaches are not working properly. So we need to start thinking out of the box. That's the thing. And here some experiences from companies like LS Group. So LS Group is a company operating in France. They are part of XR2LEARN, and they are quite ahead in this field. They have developed solutions, training solutions using VR technologies for many industrial applications. And essentially, they brought a lot of expertise to this project. Now, consider, for example, that, okay, let's say that you do have a VR environment and you are training your pupils to a kind of virtual environment. However, physics is really important. So in many cases, you see that we have some interfaces with laser pointers and so on, but physics are not into this, into the picture. So even if I do something that requires me to do stuff in a very specific way, unfortunately, these are not encoded into the application. So this is something that LS Group has done repeatedly in the past, and they are developing, of course, their expertise. The need to provide an environment that is highly accurate. And so from one hand side, that you are interacting in this virtual environment, but on the other hand side, it is highly accurate. And it is replicating, let's say, real world physical phenomena in an accurate way. And this is something that LS Group is bringing into the project, and also the project is developing also during this three. We are currently at the second year, and we also have about a year and a half to continue. So in this period, LS, one of the goals of the project as part of LS Group, for example, is how to enhance the realism and effectiveness of training programs. So this is something that we understood that from the very beginning is important. And then at the same time, another important axis, let's say, for speeding up education, increasing the scalability of training is also personalization, because it's clear that not everyone is equal, right? So you have a different background. You are smarter than me. You can do things better than me in certain conditions, and I'm lacking these skills. So I have to repeat some steps. I have to try different approaches, repeat multiple times. So here, personalization is important, so that in your virtual environment, you are doing the material that are more appropriate than what I'm doing in my virtual environment. And of course, realizing personalization cannot be, it's not something that can be done with existing technologies, because from one hand side, we need to understand the level of the student. And this can be done, of course, with traditional methods like questionnaires, doing tests, and so on and so forth. But given that we are in a virtual environment, now we can essentially track many different aspects of our trainee in this virtual environment. And this is really interesting, how we can essentially try to understand the status of our students through the way that she's interacting in this environment.
All right, and well, talking Cascade funding, because this project offers financial support for third parties, with the open call 2, which is the current open call until December 27. Sorry, could you tell us a bit who is eligible here? What kind of profile are you looking for? What projects? Who is able to apply here?
So here we are essentially looking for small groups, small consortia. But if someone wants to apply on his own, well, okay, this is also possible.
Okay.
We understand that this cannot be entirely on the expertise of a single entity, a single industry, because from one hand side, you need to have the solution, this training solution. At the other hand side, you need to apply it and carry out the training in a specific industry, in a specific case.
Right.
And in that sense, we believe that only one is not enough. Let's say you need also some kind of a training organization, some kind of an early adopter of this kind of technologies that will help in the evaluation, the validation, let's say, of the user acceptance. So in generally speaking, we are looking for either a single partner or a small group of up to 3 partners. And the project, we understand it's going to take time. So this, for us, the duration is about or exactly 12 months. So we have 3 phases. We start with the pilot specification. This takes 3 months to develop. And then we have the phase where we are essentially executing the pilot and collecting all this evidence and analyzing all this evidence. And finally, there is the phase of growth where, given all this collected evidence, the company will be able to essentially sell the product, sell this service, find other companies, convince other customers that this is indeed the way forward. So it is essentially following the startup concept, right? Collect evidence and then use this evidence to replicate it to other customers.
And what are the main benefits offered by XR2LEARN? Could you tell us a bit, and more specifically, what's the financial support here?
Okay, so at financial support is one dimension. The maximum that each project can get is 300,000. This is 100% funding. This is a lump sum. We don't require any invoice, so it is connected to the delivery of these phases I mentioned earlier. And apart from the financial support, we are also providing some technological solutions. So this is what we call the enablers of XR2LEARN. We have two enablers. One is the tool provided by LS Group. This is the Interact tool. And this is a low-code tool that allows the speed up of the authoring process, allows the reduction of the costs of the authoring process, and in some sense, making it more accessible, making more, let's say, open to everyone, which also involves this physics engine. And the second enabler is the personalization enabler. So this is a collection of tools that allows you to understand the state of your user, and at the same time, how to set up your training material so that you can offer personalization. So these are two technical components, and we offer support to the different projects on how to include them into their projects.
When it comes to transforming education in XR, how do you see, in general, XR technologies revolutionizing education as we know it today? And what potential do you think that these immersive experiences can hold for the sectors that you're approaching in Open Goal 2?
Well, the use of immersive learning, the benefits of immersive learning are well known to the research community. The big challenge is to make this, let's say, close the gap from research into the industry. There are some large industries that look into the application of immersive technologies for training. For example, the fact that there is a much safer training environment, if not absolutely safe training environment, is super important. And there are events like 2 weeks ago, we were participating in AWE. This is a big exhibition on XR technologies. Or in a couple of weeks, there is another exhibition taking place in Rotterdam on immersive technology. So when one visits this kind of exhibition, it is evident that we are still at the start of this evolution of education. At the same time, there are companies that are essentially exhibiting the results, and it's very for me, it's very positive when I see all these all these solutions exhibited, all these pilots being demonstrated, how essentially they helped, all these success stories, let's say.
Yeah.
It's really promising to see how many opportunities we have.
Yeah, no, definitely. And since you just introduced the success stories, are the OpenCall1 winners already applying these solutions within the XR2LEARN framework? Have you been able to see that?
Yeah, that was a requirement also for the OpenCall1 projects to carry out training and evaluation activities. So all of them, the existing 7 projects, managed to test and collect feedback from the users. An interesting case that I would like to mention is the karate project. This is the name might sound it's a project about training astronauts.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's extremely interesting how VR technologies can help speed up the training of astronauts. So this is a consortium of companies led by Wekit, which is a company that is activating in training astronauts using XR technologies to train astronauts. And it is in collaboration with Altec. Altec is one of the main training providers for the European Space Agency, and they work together with the European Astronaut Center in Germany. So this is a joint venture on how essentially to train astronauts at different levels. So this, for me, is something that is one of the success stories of the project. So how you can offer an environment that is realistic. It can maintain realism in terms of the physics laws, and at the same time, of course, it's not a game. It's not something to have have fun, but will actually take part of this very, very tedious process of training an astronaut that has to follow many specific rules, safety, which of course is connected also to high costs. So for me, this is one of the most interesting and ideas that jumped out of those submitted to the open call.
Since you just commented on it's not just the idea, it's also what they are achieving. Have you actually developed some kind of methodology, or are you measuring the impact of these solutions being applied from the OpenCall1?
Okay, winners? So yes, indeed, the providing educational, let's say, framework, or also educational, although educational framework is a very broad term, we look into how we can train, we can evaluate the training. Of course, this is different for each of the OpenCall1 projects. And of course, this has to be done in collaboration with the projects, involving some kind of theoretical study, evaluation of these initial sites, and then some exercises on the VR environment, and of course, on-site evaluation. Having also the component of personalization makes our work quite more challenging, because it's not only that we need to understand the benefits of VR, but at the same time we need to understand the benefits of personalized VR.
Right.
So things become difficult. For now,
Mm-hmm.
from the results of the OpenCall1 projects, coming back to karate, for example,
Mm-hmm.
it seems that the outcome here is at least engaging the trainees. They find it intuitive. This is their word. Fun to use, and essentially it is providing advantages, unique advantages in training. So people that are in the high end part of the educational business, so they are with large budgets that they can utilize. They believe that this is a technology that can certainly bring a lot of things on the table. So it can certainly help bridge the gap between theoretical knowledge and practical skills. So this is one of the first results we got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is good news. It's actually working, and you have the proof there, right?
Indeed,
It's amazing.
indeed,
This
yes.
I'll definitely check this karate for astronauts solution. All right. Actually, moving on to the artistic or creative wave here. How does XR2LEARN approach aesthetics or the development of aesthetics to enhance the user experience?
This is a very interesting point in XR2LEARN. From my university, we have the participation of designers and the faculty from the Faculty of Architecture. My colleague Victor Malacucci, for example, is the other part, the other half of this project. So if one half is IoT, the other half is design. And the same holds also for other partners. Like, again, I iterate back to LS Group and Benjamin Capel. He's putting a lot of effort to help OpenCall1 projects evolve their solutions and achieve an experience, improve the overall experience. Now, into aesthetics, I would like to come back to karate. And this, point where you are in this virtual environment and you have your 3D instructor guiding you. Here, for example, aesthetics are something that are super important to create this concept and this immersive experience at the end of the day. So there is a combination of 3D elements, and we also have a video on the YouTube channel of the project where you can see a bit how this is viewed from is realized from an aesthetic point of view, where there is a trainee inside this space environment. At the same time, you have your trainer, which is introduced through this telepresence, right? So he's beaming, she's beaming, the expert is beaming into your environment. It's really interesting how essentially you can create a kind of visual effect to link the physical space with this virtual space, how to bring into your focus the offsite collaborator with your insight. I'm not sure how you can easily explain this, how this is realized like some kind of an ice that goes maybe the aesthetics were related to the cold of space. I'm not sure why ice, but nevertheless, it seems to work well for astronauts and their trainers in knowledge-intensive tasks. That is, so it has a very good potential. And here the karate team thinks that this can also be applied in other environments, in other, let's say, Industry 5.0 environments, where you have this human element collaborating with the machines. It's really interesting. You know, some abstract ideas how they can be applied, and then this bringing good results.
Yeah, totally. I mean, here the design is definitely a must, and definitely I see that the better design or the better the aesthetic, the more realistic, the better the training effects or the knowledge and insights that the user is gonna receive, right? So it's just essential here. Thank you for saying that. All right, so now looking towards opportunities ahead, could you share to the audience a bit some details about any upcoming events or stages of the project or any upcoming open goals? What's next?
Well, we have the open call. This is the second open call, and the last for the project. However, there are also other projects with whom we are collaborating, other European funded projects that
Okay.
they also have open calls. And people that follow XR2LEARN through our LinkedIn page, for example, regular get such kind of updates. And they can apply also to those projects. At the same time, we on the 5th of December, we have a webinar on how you can introduce personalization to your XR-based training. This, I think, is an interesting webinar for those that want to apply such kind of technologies. And of course, there are also other opportunities in exhibitions, and all these things are accessible again through our LinkedIn page.
So make sure to follow their LinkedIn page and social media and keep an eye on all the updates that the project is having. All right. So Ioannis, before we wrap up this episode, there's this very last section, which is completely different to the main topic that we covered today. But so you're gonna first have to answer a question from the previous guest, and then you'll have the key in your hands, and you can raise a question for the next one, while offering us a fun fact and a piece of advice. Your question is from the guest called Raquel Carro from Cortex 2, well, Cortex Square. This is actually another project related with XR technologies and education and training. But her question is, what's your favorite dessert?
That's interesting because food is important. So now we are entering the Christmas period, the New Year. So of course, panettone is my
definitely.
favorite.
Yes, that's a good one. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Especially in Roma, I'm sure the panettones are awesome.
Everywhere. You cannot avoid them, but I don't want to avoid them.
Yeah. Okay. So now's your turn. You can decide where to start with, either the fun fact, advice, or the question for the next one.
So yeah, I mean we can stay in the food business. Food is always nice. So inspired by my fellow Romans, I would like to ask the next visitor what is their favorite way to cook pasta. Right?
Their favorite what? Sorry.
Their favorite way to cook pasta, or what is their favorite pasta dish, right?
Oh, okay. Right. So let's see what's their favorite dish of the next guest. Actually, this gives me I'm starving a bit with these questions. All right. So, what's your fun fact? Do you have anything for us?
Yes. For me, since I'm coming from Greece, of course we do like food, but the level in Italy is completely different. These people are amazing, and it was super fun when my small son came back from one of the classes while he was at elementary school, and his teacher explained them how to cook cacio e pepe, which essentially is a very simple dish. At least it looks like it's spaghetti or any kind of pasta with essentially cheese, this pecorino from Rome, and pepper, right? So it has only 2 ingredients. However, it's a super delicate process, and Romans are super famous for having many different ways to cook it. And it was something like a month we were continuously eating different kind of versions of this pasta until at last my son was happy with the result. We managed to stop.
All right, and what's your advice? Do you have anything to offer to the audience of innovators that are listening to us?
I think the most important is the team. This is what I've understood from all the groups that I've visited and the different groups that I have participated in. Most probably, this is why I decided to stay here for this 10 years, the last 10 years, because I managed to find a group of people that are enthusiastic. They have positive energy. Obviously, you cannot be positive every day, but at the end of the day, they have this positive energy, and they approach their problems and their work and their life in general in an enthusiastic way. And for me, at the end of the day, it's super important because problems, you will always be able to find other problems. Technologies, at the end of the day, this is what we do. We develop technologies, but the group is something that without a good group, without good collaborators, it's difficult to take step forwards.
Enriching. That's very that's good that you're passionate about collaborating in this project while bringing your experience, your expertise, and sharing this beautiful thing about XR and education. So congrats for that. All right, so thank you very much, Ioannis, for being with us today. It was a complete pleasure to share this time with you, get to know all the details about XR2LEARN, and yeah, thank you. So please make sure, audience, to check all the Open Goal 2 documents. You can check their webpage, which I'll share it on the links down below. And yeah, this brings us to the end of the episode of Efecto Cascada. Thank you as well, audience, for staying up until the very end. And as always, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And this episode will be streaming on all streaming platforms, which are Spotify, Amazon, and YouTube. And as always, let's keep exploring the fascinating world of innovation together. So thank you once again, and see you on the next one. Goodbye.